Marietta College. $1,200 of your closest friends across 100 acres. This is home.
Coming up today on WCMO NewsCenter 15, Hungary's leader orders extra security at energy sites, claiming Ukraine plots disruptions.
And an American is freed after 11 years for what's called the Bali suitcase murder, but a U.S. case awaits.
Stay with us. Those stories and more coming up on WCMO NewsCenter 15. Hello and welcome to today's edition of WCMO NewsCenter 15. I'm Zachary Simpkins.
And I'm Ian Allspaw. Topping our news today.
Power failures, waist-high canyons of snow, and more flurries Wednesday covered parts of the Northeast in the aftermath of a massive snowstorm that dumped icy piles on streets and sidewalks from Maryland to Maine. The fallout persisted across the region in Rhode Island, where 3 feet of snow surpassed the record set in the blizzard of 1978. People were stuck in their homes for a third straight day as residential streets remained unplowed. Trash pickup got postponed in places, and some schools went virtual. More than 138,000 customers were still without power Wednesday afternoon, nearly all of them in Massachusetts and particularly in Cape Cod, according to PowerOutage.us.
Iran pushed back Wednesday against U.S. President Donald Trump's pressure tactics ahead of critical talks in Geneva over Tehran's nuclear program, alternating between calling his remarks big lies and saying negotiations may yield an agreement through honorable diplomacy. The remarks by 2 Iranian officials came a day before the talks, and as America has assembled its biggest deployment of aircraft and warships to the Middle East in decades, the buildup is part of Trump's efforts to get a deal to constrain Iran's nuclear program while the country struggles at home with growing dissent following nationwide protests last month. I wonder what the weather looks like.
Well, Landon is here with the current conditions. What's going on outside, Landon?
Well, Zach, earlier this morning we had a bit of a noticeable snow flurry, not nearly as much as they had in Massachusetts, but it was another bout of coldness. Right today, that's turned into rain, and it feels like 46 today with an expected high of 49. The UV index is rather low with barely any sunlight at a level of 1. The air quality is at an excellent level at 9. And again, as a result of all this precipitation, we got a low pollen count. The winds will be running around the south-southwest about 7 miles per hour. The humidity is roughly 100% today. The sun rose about 9 before 8 this morning and should be setting about 3 before 6:30 this evening. As I said, we're very close to the end of the month of February. We've had another bout of snow earlier this morning, and you know it didn't result in any major accumulation like the snow we had at the beginning of the month. But we're going to have a bit of a warm-up as we get closer to the beginning of the weekend, and another bit of a cool down as the weekend continues. I'll go into more detail on that when I return later on in the program for the 5-day forecast. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban on Wednesday ordered extra security at critical energy infrastructure sites after claiming Ukraine was attempting to disrupt Hungary's energy system. Budapest has recently accused Kiev of deliberately holding back Russian oil deliveries through the Druzhba pipeline, which crosses Ukraine's territory. Ukrainian officials have denied the allegations, saying the pipeline, which feeds refineries in Hungary and Slovakia, has hit in a Russian drone attack. Orban has in recent weeks launched an aggressive anti-Ukraine campaign ahead of elections in April, which will likely be the toughest he's faced in his 16 years in power.
Indonesia freed and deported an American man Tuesday after he spent 11 years in prison for the premeditated murder of his then-girlfriend's mother on the island of Bali. But he's still on the hook for federal charges back home. Tommy Schaefer was sentenced to 18 years in prison for the 2014 murder of Sheila von Wiesmack. The case became known as the Bali suitcase murder because her battered body was found in a suitcase in the trunk of a taxi at an upscale resort. The couple was trying to gain access to $1.5 million trust fund, with Heather Mack covering her 62-year-old mother's mouth while Schaefer beat her with a fruit bowl. Police in Bali arrested Mack, nearly 19 at the time and a few weeks pregnant, and the then 21-year-old Schaefer a day later.
Coming up, we learn where Ohio is ranked on best and worst on the education level.
And a new campaign to fight elder abuse.
All this and more after the break.
At Marietta College, teamwork goes beyond athletics. At Marietta, we promote individuality, creativity, and resilience. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, we are Ohio Nation. This is the time, this is the place. We are pioneers. We are Marietta College.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I think it goes around.
Let's go. We gotta get you in practice.
And it's set!
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Colon cancer is common and deadly, but that's also preventable. The Alliance is doing its part to end colorectal cancer. Now do yours. Get involved. And if you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor about the colon cancer screening options available to you. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more. Oh boy.
Yeah!
Cuba said that 10 people on a boat that shot at its soldiers were Cubans who live in the United States and were trying to sneak onto the island to cause harm. The government said the boat came from Florida and entered Cuban waters. Soldiers fired back after being shot at, killing 4 people and hurting 6 others. 1 Cuban officer was also hurt. Cuba said that most of the people on the boat had a history of crime and violence. In the United States, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the United States is still gathering facts to learn what happened and to find out if the people on the boat were American citizens or permanent residents.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation searched the main office of the Los Angeles Unified School District and the home of its leader, Alberto Carvalho, on Wednesday. They also searched another place near Miami where he used to work. Officials did not say what the investigation is about. The school district said it is helping with the investigation but does not have more details. TV showed FBI agents outside Carvalho's home in Los Angeles. Carvalho has been praised for improving schools in Los Angeles and earlier led Miami-Dade County Public Schools. In 2014, he was named Superintendent of the Year.
A new study by Walter Hub ranked Ohio 35th in its report, most and least educated states in America. Ohio was 36th in education level and 19th in quality of education. It was also ranked 39th in a group of states with both low education levels and low median household income. Neighboring West Virginia ranked last overall. The study says there is a strong link between higher education and higher pay. The top 3 states were Massachusetts, Vermont, and Maryland. The report suggests Ohio may need changes to help the students succeed and encourage young people to stay in the state for college and careers.
Dave Yost, the Attorney General of Ohio, announced a new statewide campaign to fight elder abuse and stop financial scams before they cause harm. His office is working with the Ohio Bankers League, the Ohio Healthcare Association, and the Ohio Pharmacists Association. The goal is to train bankers, healthcare workers, and pharmacists to spot warning signs such as strange bank withdrawals or sudden changes in spending. Leaders say many older adults suffer in silence, so it is important for professionals and everyday people to speak up, offer support, and help report abuse.
Coming up, Samsung rolls out more AI, a new Privacy Shield mode with the new Galaxy S26 lineup.
And Apple calls on Google to help smarten up Siri and bring other AI features to the iPhone.
Well, we're in for another warm spell and another cold spell in this upcoming weekend. I'll have the details for you with your 5-day forecast coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Mo. This Movember, the moustache is calling once more. Raise funds, save lives. Sign up at Movember.com.
There's a place for everyone at Marietta College. Our place is here as esports competitors. This is Marietta College Esports.
Samsung on Wednesday unveiled its latest Galaxy smartphones, which boast an even bigger toolbox of artificial intelligence technology than the previous two generations, and introduce a new Privacy Shield mode that blocks Snoopy bystanders from sneaking a peek at the display screen. The upgrades on the Galaxy S26 lineup arriving in stores March 11th will also include price increases of 10% to 13% on the basic and mid-tier models, while the Ultra device will cost the same as last year's version. The standard Galaxy S26 will sell for $899, while the Plus model will cost $1,099, which is $100 more than what Samsung charged for the comparable device released in each of the past 2 years. The Galaxy S26 Ultra remains at $1,299.
Apple will rely on Google to help finish its efforts to smarten up its virtual assistant Siri and bring other artificial intelligence features to the iPhone as the trend-setting company plays catch-up in technology's latest craze. The deal allowing Apple to tap into Google's AI technology was disclosed Monday in a joint statement from the Silicon Valley powerhouses. The partnerships will draw upon Google's Gemini technology to customize a suite of AI features dubbed Apple Intelligence on the iPhone and other products.
A telescope in Chile has revealed in unprecedented detail the swirling splendor of star-forming gases at the heart of our Milky Way galaxy. The picture released Wednesday by the European Southern Observatory zeroes in on a region of cold cosmic gases more than 650 light-years across. A light-year is nearly 6 trillion miles. The clouds of gas and dust surround the supermassive black hole at the galactic dead center. It's the largest image ever taken at the ALMA antenna network in Atacama Desert, one of the driest places on Earth. Let's move on to Hollywood now. There's great news for Star Wars fans. Baby Yoda is back in a new movie.
And details on the new documentary, Billy Idol Should Be Dead.
Here's Zach with the details on our Hollywood Minute.
Thank you, other Zach. Hi, everyone. Pedro Pascal is back alongside his little green friend, Baby Yoda. The release of The Mandalorian and Grogu will be an important moment for Star Wars. It's the franchise's first new film to be released in theaters in almost 7 years and continues the story of the Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. Fans can catch the movie in theaters this upcoming May. In other news, McKenna Grace reportedly is getting her Scooby on. What does that mean? Variety and Deadline report that the actress has been cast as the young Daphne Blake in Netflix's live-action Scooby-Doo series. The show, which begins filming this April, will explore how the Mystery Incorporated gang got together. And then moving on to music news, punk rocker Billy Idol's fans get to follow his journey from underground star to pop icon in an upcoming documentary titled Billy Idol Should Be Dead. What's being called an electrifying documentary reveals his personal chaos that nearly ended it all and opens across the nation today. That's all I have from Hollywood for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Zach. I
wonder what the temperatures will look like next week.
Well, Landon is here with the details. Landon, what can we expect from Mother Nature for the rest of this week?
Well, as I've mentioned before, we had a bit of a snow flurry earlier this morning, and it fizzled out eventually into a bit of a drizzle. As you can see, the leftover effects of that are leaving our area of the Middle Ohio Valley and heading towards along the line of the Atlantic towards the southwest wind trajectory towards the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, depending on who you ask. Taking a look at the regional map, yeah, as I said, the snow, most of the snow has gone away from the Mid-Ohio Valley and has is going through our neighboring states of West Virginia and Kentucky. And as a result, by the time our show's over for the day, we'll have not sunny skies, but virtually clear skies today. As we take a look at our 5-day forecast, as I mentioned before, we'll have a bit of a heat up as the weekend starts with an expected high of 56 on Friday and sunny conditions. Continuing on, it's warming up even further into Saturday with sunny conditions going up into a high of 59. But then as February ends and March begins on Sunday, we'll have a bit of a drastic cool down with another bound of rain on Sunday with an expected high of 41, cooling down even further as we begin the next work week on Monday with an expected high of 39. And then the rain will finally start slowing down on Tuesday and with temperatures climbing up with an expected high of 45. So, yeah, earlier this morning, because of the snow we've been getting another taste of some lingering winter temperatures. And as we're getting closer and closer and closer to the end of February, it looks like this is this rain and heat that we're bouncing back and forth over this weekend and into the next week, I would say is definitely a good indication that spring is fighting to come down to our neck of the woods. And we're certainly looking forward to that as the month of March draws ever nearer. That's all I've got for this week's forecast. I'm Landon Santini. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Landon. When we come back, CJ will join us on an update from the world of sports.
See you in a few.
Let's do this! Yeah! There's something stirring up inside of me I never felt before. Doesn't it make you right? Now that I'm with you, sparks are flying loose, fireworks go off in my brain.
We always support you at Girl Scouts.
When I look up the stars,
We're together, we can do big things.
everything's better with you.
Make it your year of friendship at Girl Scouts.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us now for sports is CJ.
CJ, why don't you tell us about it?
Thanks, guys. Hillary Knight said she thought a joke by Donald Trump about the United States women's Olympic hockey team was distasteful, but she does not want it to take away from the team's success at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Knight, a two-time gold medalist, spoke in Seattle with teammates Alex Carpenter, Hannah Bilka, and Kayla Barnes. She said women athletes should be celebrated for their achievements. After the United States men won gold, Trump invited them to the White House and joked he would also have to invite the women's team. Many women players could not attend due to travel and schedule changes. Team officials cited weather and logistics as reasons. The United States women won 12 gold medals in Milan Cortina, with women contributing to 8, and the hockey team outscored opponents 33-2 during the tournament. The Marietta College women's lacrosse team earned its first win of the season Tuesday with a 15-5 victory over Wittenberg University. The Pioneers are now 1-1 while the Tigers fall to 0-2. Marietta jumped out early and led 6-2 after the first period and 7-2 at halftime. The team kept control in the second half to secure the win. Maggie Downard scored 3 goals and Renee Mulvaney added 2 goals and 3 assists. Rookies Lydia McCarter and Maddie Highbore each scored their first career goals. Marietta will host Hiram College on Saturday at 4 p.m. Gino Ariema set a record Monday for the most appearances by a coach in the AP Women's Basketball Top 25, passing Tara Vanderveer. His team, University of Connecticut Women's Basketball, was unanimous number 1 and has now been ranked 655 times. UConn is 29-0, the only unbeaten Division I team, and has won 45 straight games. The top 5 stayed the same, with UCLA Bruins women's basketball, South Carolina women's basketball, Texas Longhorns women's basketball, and Vanderbilt Commodores women's basketball following UConn. Tennessee Lady Volunteers basketball fell out of the poll after 3 straight losses and have dropped 7 of their last 9 games. Number 3 seed University of Mount Union defeated number 6 Marietta College 74-57 in the Ohio Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Tournament quarterfinals Tuesday night. The loss ended Marietta's season at 12-14, while Mount Union improves to 18-8 and moves on to the semifinals. After a close first quarter, Mount Union pulled away by outscoring the Pioneers 48-30 in the second and third periods. Marietta held the Purple Raiders to just 9 points in the fourth quarter, but could not overcome the large deficit. Kelsey Harlan led Marietta with 12 points, while Amelia Urig added 10 points and 6 rebounds. TJ Carpenter also scored 9 points. That's all I have from the world of sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, CJ. And back at us with the desk is Landon for the last look at the forecast.
Well, to sum it up as quickly as possible, after this belt of rain and snow we had earlier this morning, the temperatures will start warming up into the high 50s, 56 to 59 as we go into the beginning of the weekend. But then when February becomes March on Sunday, we'll get another bout of rain for the next few days, and that will cause temperatures to cool back down to the 30s before steadily climbing back up to about 45 on Tuesday. So there's a good chance we've gotten the one final taste of winter weather, and spring is now working its butt off to fight its way to come down to our neck of the woods. So you guys looking forward to spring?
100%.
Heck yeah. All right, thank you, Landon. That's all the time we have for today. We hope you have a great week from all of us here at WCMO NewsCenter 15, Marietta College Broadcasting. Thanks again for joining us.